Kmart had their very own cafeteria. A lot of the stores had them until like around 1989 or 90, somewhere around there. So you remember the cafeteria still, right, Steve? So we had ours through at least 89 or 90, right?
Yeah, we did.
And what was your favorite part of that cafeteria?
Well, I like the French fries.
Yeah, they were
I
the
like the French
best.
fries. And then they had the Slurpee knockoff. I can't remember what they were called.
Ices.
Ices were always good. And the Subway sandwiches, they weren't really Subway brand, obviously, but they were Subway sandwiches.
Yeah, you kind of got it at the tail end. When I was there at starting, this is kind of what you would see. And this is an ad from the 70s, but I mean, they had full on meals like fried fish, all you can eat, baked chicken platters. I don't know who would want the liver and onions, a macaroni and cheese lunch. And of course, they did have like fries and burgers. And later on, I do remember as I think they were looking for things that were more easy to prepare, that like things like Subway sandwiches or submarine sandwiches, that kind of thing. But the fries as well were probably my go-to there.
Here's the other memory I have of the when I was a little kid. Mom would take Kenny and me to the cafe, and we'd get mashed potatoes and gravy there.
Yeah, I remember Mom taking me as well. Probably we were probably there together, but that's not what I remember of the event. But it was a special thing to go shopping with Mom at Kmart and then have her go back to the cafeteria area and buy you a little mini lunch or a full-on lunch. I remember budgets were tight, so I'm thinking she kind of kept, like, when you went, you had mashed potatoes with her. I think I might have had macaroni and cheese or something like that, but just a lot of fun. So I got to share the story about almost getting fired. It was my second day working at Kmart. I can't even, I do. I remember his last name, but I won't say it. So one of the managers was kind of walking me around, showing me things, and we took a break together, and I was struggling to get the ketchup packet open for the French fries. And I was pulling on it really hard, and I ripped too well, and it splattered, and it got on his shirt. And I was just horrified because, I mean, it really got on his shirt. Fortunately for me, he did not consider it a fireable offense, but I was pretty scared that my career at Kmart was going to be over day 2. So Justin, tell us about your memories of Kmart food towards the tail end of the store.
Well, I do remember the cafeteria from my childhood, before I was able to work there, and it was great. There was one near us. We always went there to eat, once or twice a month. And they had all those specials and everything. And then towards the end of the cafeteria era, you saw them all change to, I think, Little Caesars and stuff like that, which I wasn't there at my particular store for that. But from other employees, I had heard that it had went from a cafe to a Little Caesars within like a 10-year period. And then right before I started working there, it turned into an empty spot, I guess. And it was mostly used for the new online delivery, which, imagine that. Nobody would ever go for that. But I think they called it My Gopher. And it was like just a new pickup service they were starting. That's what they turned it into when I was working there. But I think it was like 6 months before I started working. It was actually still a Little Caesars, which I brought them a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, we didn't have a Little Caesars in our store. We had one nearby. I remember that. But we did have what they did after they took that cafeteria out. You'll probably remember this, Steve, is they put a deli up front. And they had a deli area up front where you would, near the registers, where you could do your shopping, pay for your stuff, and then buy an icy or, again, a hoagie sandwich or something up front. I can't remember all the stuff they sold up there. Do you remember, Steve?
I just remember the hoagie sandwiches were up there. Popcorn. I think you buy some popcorn, maybe a pretzel.
I remember nachos. Yeah, just that kind of stuff. That's what it ended up being towards the tail end, at least in our little store in Woods Cross, Utah.